Strange things are afoot at Amazon. Now their ranking system is changing. They are scrapping ranking shows based on audience scores because it revealed audiences found queer stories off-putting. So this is in light of a lot of people just tuning out of woke nonsense you see with Star Wars and Marvel and just everything Disney related. But it is also transferring over to Amazon. You had like the Lord of the Rings series that just came out and had a little bit of woke touches and identity politics and shit scrambled all over into it. Before we get into this article, this is a for sure sign that eliminating audience scores is censorship, because they're hiding the feedback that real people, real consumers are giving on their products because it's not fitting their agenda. If it was positive, they would have kept it, highlighted it, made, a huge presentation about it, but they're quietly removing audience scores so that way the queer stories, the woke stuff gets doesn't get buried by bad reviews. So let's take a look at this right here. So this is from a new report that's claiming Amazon Studios scrapped an audience ranking system after data revealed audiences were put off by queer stories and themes. And there's Rosie O'Donnell in A League of Their Own. I don't have Amazon, so I didn't even know they made a League of Their Own series, but my God. Rosie O'Donnell makes a better looking dude than a female. I'll say that much. Jesus. Anyway, so this new report comes from a Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters, who details Amazon's reliance on testing and data led to a clash late summer, specifically following a marketing meeting regarding the company's A League of Their Own series. Masters notes, during this meeting, an Amazon executive pointed out that data showed audiences found queer stories off-putting and suggested downplaying those themes and materials promoting the show. Fair enough, right? People that are like analysts and things, they gotta, for the most part, their finger down on the audience and stuff. Data doesn't lie. Data does not lie. And, as much as people like to think that diversity and inclusion and special representation of every little fucking snowflake thing is a good thing, people don't want it. People don't want it. Data doesn't fucking lie. We don't even have to be outspoken to show that people don't want it. Now, going on, this says, on top of this, Masters also detailed multiple sources say Amazon's system often ranked broad series featuring straight white male leads above all others. And we can't have that, ladies and gentlemen. No straight white male leads, all right? According to the report, the show's creator, Will Graham, launched into an interrogation of the system, which resulted in Amazon dropping the system of ranking shows based on audience scores. So, yeah, no more audience scores rankings. The new report appears to lend credence to a previous rumor from Hollywood insider Wow Pro at That Park Place that claimed multiple Hollywood focus groups chose a dummy police show versus a woke-styled police show. Wow Pro, my fucking wheel on my mouse, I need to get me a new mouse. It just, every time I scroll down, it fucking beams up like that. What can you do, right? So basically they did a test where there was a fake dummy show and then a real life woke show that they wanted to see, I guess audience feedback or whatnot. And everybody went with the non-woke show. The dummy police show was based on a hacked together episodes of Starsky and Hutch, a classic that featured two young detectives, two white guys, one Ivy League and the other a good old boy, are partnered in Vegas where they cultivate informants, recurring girlfriends. Every episode includes a fist fight with chairs, bottles flying. Every second episode has a car chase, alleys with blowing newspapers, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, unnecessarily overpowered firearms, muscle cars on the strip, Vegas location used to the hilt, from grungy and rundown to full-on glam. That sounds fucking awesome. Why do they go through the effort to make a fake dummy show that sounds fucking legit when they could do that instead of wasting their money trying to be diverse and make shit nobody wants? How come we can't get that fucking hacked Starsky and Hutch show? Do that, Amazon. What the fuck? Put that on. That sounds legit. Now, in contrast, the Woke Style show was allegedly a legitimate show that was being pitched to a number of streaming services, including Netflix, that followed a POC policewoman at a Southern where she is shocked by the racism, sexism, and abusive power of her new colleagues, as well as their poor relations with the communities they serve. Dear God. So a police cop goes to the South and she has to deal with all of her coworkers that are racist and all this shit. Nobody wants to see that. Not only did the show feature themes about racism and sexism, but it muddied the moral waters as a policewoman doesn't know who are the good guys and who are the bad guys anymore, and has to watch her back on and off duty while she tries to initiate change both in her department and in her community. Ugh. This report also appears to have credence in national polling done by Rasmussen Reports. The organization found that only 28% of American adults believe the emphasis on inclusion and diversity by companies like Disney is making children's entertainment better. So only 28% of people like this diversity and inclusion shit for children's entertainment. They found that 45% of American adults think the push for inclusion is making kids' entertainment worse. Fucking amen. Honestly, because remember how awesome entertainment was in the 90s, 80s, 90s for us? Saturday morning cartoons. No bullshit about inclusion and diversity and everybody's a special snowflake. So interesting data results. Amazon no longer doing audience rankings because they don't want the truth to come out. That says it all. Queer stories are off-putting to a huge chunk of the majority. Not that there's anything wrong with LGBTQ again, but when you focus, when that becomes like the main focus, the primary selling point of your show is, oh, it's queer, that's where things get a little bit bad, because it's off-putting. It definitely is off-putting because not everybody wants bullshit wokeness shoved in their fucking face. And it's going across all mediums of entertainment, actually, at this point, whether it's movies, TV, music, comics. I get it. But, you know, there's a way, there's a tact to doing it. And if it doesn't get well received, you might as well just get over it and stop trying to hide it. Like them removing the user score, the audience score ranking system is them trying to put a Band-Aid on a bad wound, and they need to just realize, hey, sometimes people aren't going to like what you're trying to force, and all of these entertainment companies are trying to force nonsense, and it's not working, guys. I think Hollywood needs to go back to what its original routes for, and that's providing entertainment and whimsical stories, great stories, well-written plots, great characters, memorable moments that live a lifetime. That's why some of the classic movies of yesteryear are so still highly praised to this day over the stuff that we've been getting, because there was no worries about bullshit, you know, agendas and stuff. So anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts.